I grew up in a non-church going family. Through family experiences, I was very broken, and I really didn't feel like there was any good need for me. I guess I felt more like a burden if I went to go talk to my mother or something like that, because I felt like she was already dealing with so much as a single mother. I always thought I was alone, everyone else had the perfect family. My cousin, who was my best friend, suddenly passed away. It really took a toll on me because I never experienced death before, but it just drifted me further away from God. I never understood why, if there's a God so great, why he would put so many difficulties into our family. It took me a while to get on board with God, I guess. It definitely started by going to the youth center.
So when I was 12 or 13, my view of God was vague. I didn't know really what he was, I didn't know who he was. Me and my friend were walking by a YFC, and this random man comes out and he's like, "Hey, do you want to come inside?" And we're like, "No, thank you." Because you know how your parents always tell you, don't go in strange buildings with strange people. This guy looks strange. And so the next day we decided to go in, and it was actually a lot of fun.
I grew up playing a lot of sports. I was involved in pretty much everything from arts to sports to drama, anything to pretty much keep myself out of trouble. And throughout university, I realized I wanted to help youth before they actually got involved in the system.
I had a lot of questions. I was pretty skeptical about believing in something you couldn't see. I was never comfortable talking face to face. I was very shy. I was very self-conscious. I didn't ever want to stick out, and I had so many questions, but if we were in a group setting, I always had that fear that I'd just look like an idiot. And so I started journaling with one of the staff members, and I would just have these questions, and we would just pass it back, once a week or whenever I had questions, and it really would just open my eyes. And she'd give me Bible verses to read, and I would just study on them.
What kept me coming back to the youth center was the staff, the people, and the general love you felt when you walked in. The staff was always there for you. They wanted to be your friend. They wanted to hear about your life, how your day went. It was always a nice feeling.
YFC allows us to be free of red tape, to be able to really enrich, to be involved in these youth's lives and present a gospel, present a message, and that's the love of Jesus Christ, and be able to show them that love and to be able to partner with them in ways that you wouldn't be able to do with other programs in the community.
Eventually just getting more into the Bible, becoming more comfortable with myself and who I was with God, made me more outgoing. It made me more comfortable for who I am, and even with all my little insecurities that I still struggle with day to day, I know God's made me who I am for a reason. People always say, I'm so sorry for what you went through, and I couldn't be more thankful for what I went through. I'm happy I did, actually, because God's given me this gift to be able to connect with others, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, since I've gone to the youth center, I've been more in contact with people that know God and people that love God and who have God in their lives. I now have way more actual true friends. The impact Christ has made in my life is vast. I used to be this kid that did nothing. I hung out with the wrong kind of people. But since I started knowing Christ, my life has been changing. I know that anything I do, I have to check back to the Bible and make sure that I'm not just disobeying it, and I'm following what James 1:22 says. Well, James 1:22, which is my favorite verse, says, "Do not merely listen to the word and therefore deceive yourselves, but do what it says." If these kids didn't have the youth center, they wouldn't have a clue what love felt like. They would just know how being broken felt like.
What excites me is seeing the potential in these youth. It's amazing to see how God has blessed these kids with so much talent, so much ability, and so much gifts. And just to see that, sometimes you get a little glimpse of it and your heart just warms. I can see myself there when I was their age, and you can see that potential, and you just want to nurture it, and you want to plant the seeds to see them grow. We're on the front lines, and when you're on the front lines, you need as much prayer and support as you can to be able to directly impact the lives of the youth that we talk to and have relations with on a daily basis.
The encouragement of the staff and people around, just having that prayer for me and all this support is definitely what kept me going. He's really opened my eyes that I want to become part of youth ministry, and I truly believe if the youth center wasn't there or the staff wasn't there to back me up in my faith, I would just be a lost cause.